Hello, and welcome back to our second video in our Google Meets tutorial series. Once again, my name is Rafa, an Energineer from World Stage, and today I'm happy to share with you this very special session on starting and leading a meeting in Google Meets. Now, if you remember, our previous video discussed joining as a participant, and today we're going to switch it up a bit by looking at the other side of that equation, setting up your own Google Meeting, inviting people to come to it, and managing people once they're inside the meeting. So let's get started. To start a new Google Meet meeting, it's really simple. You just have to go, if you're in browser, to meet.google.com. And if you have a Google account, which you're signed into, you should be able to simply click Start a Meeting. So if I click this over here, it says Joining, and in just a bit, it'll bring us to this very familiar meeting screen. Now, we already discussed what happens in the screen before, so if we click Join Now, it will start the meeting, and we can start inviting people to that. Over here, notice this thing over here under Meeting Ready. That is a code, that is a link that people can click to go to your meeting. So if you want to invite people in, you can just copy that, and you send it to your chat, you send it wherever, and they can just click that, and it'll bring them straight to this meeting screen. So let's get inside and check out some of the controls. Alright, you can see the joining info is coming up here on screen, and we can also add people. So like I said, you can send this link, or if you want to add people, you can click this, and what it does is that it pulls up my list of contacts that I emailed before, and you can just click certain individuals, and once you're happy, you click send email. It'll send them an email invitation to your Google Meet, and if they click that, they should be able to join. Now I want to show you one more way to start a Google Meet, so let's go back to meet.google.com. And this is something interesting if you like to plan your schedule ahead. So what you can actually do is that instead of clicking Start a Meeting over here, you can go over here to the right and click Schedule a Video Meeting from Google Calendar. And if you click this, what it does is that it opens up a new tab. And in this tab, you'll actually have access to a Google Calendar event. So just click Got It. What you can do here is that you click this field, and you can put the title for the meeting. For example, World Stage Awesome Best Training Session. And what you can do over here is that you can set the day for the meeting. So this one is set for today, but you can set it as far in the future as you want to. Let's say we're setting a meeting for this Friday. You can set a boundary for the meeting. So let's say we want to start it at 9 a.m. and we want to end at 11 a.m. And there we go. You can also select the time zone, so just make sure to set one that you and the people I'm meeting with both understand. For some reason this is set to Korean Standard Time, but I would actually set it here to Philippine Standard Time because that is where we're at. And over here, what you can do is check out the event details. So you can add a location, but this isn't super crucial since we are meeting remotely. You can have the email over here that's sponsoring it. You can add a notification. This will remind you and the participants a certain amount of time before the meeting starts. So we have it set to 30 minutes. You can set it to 5. You can set it to an hour, days, weeks, depending on what's best for you. And you can add a short description. So for example, this is a training session on how to use Google Meet. Obviously, you can see that I'm not typing properly, but you get the idea. Now, this here on the right is the really important part. We can add guests. So this is how we invite people to come over to the meeting. So once again, you can click on this field and it brings back some of your contacts. So what you can do with these contacts is just type in the name, for example, worldstage@gmail.com or something like that, and just click that name to confirm it. Let's invite Angeline from World Stage just to give a sample. So you just click Ange, and now she's invited. So as soon as I click Save, that will set the event. And yes, it gives you the option to send invitation emails to Google Calendar guests. I would click send just to make sure people show up. There we go. And you can see now it shows up on my calendar. If you remember this Friday, you can see the World Stage Awesome Best Training Session is over here with the Google Meet link here on the bottom. And the people you invited can also see that. So those are two ways. I actually have a third one, and this is a really time-saving tip if you are using Google Chrome as your browser. So what you can do is actually just open up Google Chrome if you're updated to the latest version, and on the bar on top, instead of going to the Google Meet website, you simply type meet.google.com new. And when you click that, what it does is that it instantly launches a brand new Google Meet session. This is a new feature from Google Chrome, and it saved me tons of minutes in just a few weeks of using it. So I suggest you use it too, and it works the exact same way. You also get a link to get people to join. Hey mobile users, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. It's the exact same concept to launch a meeting over here on your mobile, except we'll be using the Google Meet app instead of the browser. So again, just download the app from the App Store or the Play Store if you haven't yet, and open it up on your phone. So you can see we're opening up Google Meet now. And once we're on the screen, you can see that at the bottom, at the very bottom here, there are two buttons. One of them says New Meeting and the other says Meeting Code. So Meeting Code lets you input a code to join a meeting in progress, but we're interested in starting a new meeting, so let's click this New Meeting button. So here it's just loading up, and what we'll see now is that we're in a new meeting, and you see that notification similar to browser pop up on the screen. It gives you the code, which you can just copy and send to people, and there's also a share button over here in the bottom. So if you click share, what this will let you do is that lets you send it over Messenger, over email. You just select your channel, and you can invite people to the meeting on the phone. You notice it doesn't have as much customization and buttons available on the screen as browser, so I still would recommend doing it in browser, especially since you have that great ability. Now, I want to show you some of the presentation features here in Google Meet. So last time we just clicked join now, but you actually have a present option over here. And what this does is that it lets you come into the meeting with a presentation. Now, over here, it gives me the option to share my screen, but you'll see there's three options over here. Number one is Chrome tab. So if I have a tab in Google Chrome that I want to show off, I can select that. Second, I can share my entire screen. So what I'm seeing on the screen right now, everyone else will also see. Or three, you can share an application window. So a window that you have open. So you just select the one you want and then select the source. And once you click share, everyone else in the meeting will see that. So let me demonstrate that. Let me try Chrome tabbing. So let's go to the World Stage website. Let's say I want to show this off to some people. I want to show them a website. So what I'll do is that I'll click present now over here. And here in Chrome tab, I'll select World Stage International, which is a tab I have open already, and click share. Now notice that here in Chrome tab, you can actually have the option, and actually for everything, you have the option to share audio. So if you want them to hear the audio that's coming off your source, for example, there's a video playing in the other tab and I want people to hear it, have share audio enabled. If you don't want them to hear it and just see it, you can uncheck that box. So now I've selected World Stage International. I'm going to click share. And over here, what it does is that it actually brings me to my screen with World Stage International. So even though I'm on the screen over here, I'm actually still in the meeting, which is open in the other tab. And you can tell you're still there because of this helpful tab here at the top. It says sharing this tab to meet.google.com. And as long as that's there, and you will see your connection is still holding, and whatever I'm seeing on screens, for example, this World Stage website, is being presented to the other participants. Once I'm happy, once I've shown them enough of this, I can click stop. And when I click stop, it closes, and I can click this tab to just return to that meeting and maybe let someone else take a shot at presentation. Yes, you can also share your screen or do a bit of a presentation on mobile, although in a much more limited capacity. So what you can do over here is that if you are in a Google Meets meeting again here in mobile, what you can do is open it up, and I want you to look at this corner, the upper right corner of your screen. You'll see that icon again with the three dots. If you click that icon, what happens is a menu should pop up. And there are different things on this menu, but what you have to take note of is this one that says Present Screen. That's the third option from the top. So you click Present Screen. It'll give you a prompt that asks if you want to start presenting your screen. Just click Start Presenting. And what happens over here is that it just asks you again if you want to start now. It gives you a notification that Meet will be sharing what's on your phone. So once you have that, it will say you are now presenting to everyone. And what happens is that if I close the Google Meet and I go around to different screens on my phone, say there's an image I want to show, they're going to see what's on my phone screen. So again, not the same. You can't really present the same kind of PowerPoints or maybe the same kind of videos. Might be a bit laggier, but it is available if you're in mobile, although I would always recommend to go on browser if you have a presentation to make. We're here in the Google Meet, which I hosted, and we're waiting for a few people to show up so we can invite them and start the meeting. So when you see someone show up, when someone requests to join your room, you'll see a notification show up on your screen asking if you'd like to admit them. Just make sure to click that to let them into the room, because if not, they're just gonna be there waiting. And I know it hurts to just be left waiting. There it is now. Angeline is here, so you can deny entry, but we won't do that. Don't let the power get to your head. Instead, click admit, and they will be let into the call. Hi, Ange. I'll just show you guys some of the settings you can do when you're the host of the meeting. So one thing you can do here is that you see this button over here that says pin to screen. You can actually access this even as someone else, even if you're a participant, I believe. So if you click pin to screen, what happens is that that person you pin becomes the big picture on the screen. So that's good if, let's say, someone is talking and you want to focus on them. You can pin and click it again to unpin. Another thing you can do, apologies in advance for this, Eliza, but I just need to show the feature. You don't need to come back. You can remove someone from the meeting by hovering over their picture and clicking this remove from meeting. So bye, Eliza. Sorry about that. It's nothing personal. It's me. It's not you. Okay, bye. So you just have to click remove to confirm, and you'll boot them out of the meeting. Alright, and those are our main tips for using Google Meet Advanced Tutorial. If you've been listening very, very well right now, you should know how to do a bunch of things about setting up a meeting, managing it when you're inside, and presenting during a meeting. You should know 3 ways of setting up a meeting, so you can go to the Chrome website, the Google Meets website, and just click start a new meeting now. Or you can set it on a Google Calendar, you can schedule it ahead of time and invite people, or you can use the Meets.new shortcut on Google Chrome. Aside from that, you should also know the different ways of presenting while in a meeting. You can share your entire screen, you can share a Chrome tab with or without audio, or you can share a specific application window. Finally, you should know how to manage participants inside a meeting. You should know how to let people in, you should know how to pin people, and you should know how to kick people out. Although let's hope it never comes to that. We're always trying to be friendly and forgiving here at World Stage. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you learned a lot and you communicate more effectively online. I look forward to your next Google Meets call. Hopefully, you don't have any technical difficulties. If you do, hit me up. Send a message over here to the page. If you like this, keep watching us for more content. We're gonna put out a Zoom tutorial soon, so if you want to know more about that meeting program, you can check that out. Once again, I'm Energineer Rafa from World Stage International, and have a wonderful day wherever you are. Stay fired up!